Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Um, Let me just give you a scan of the room in the beginning and then we'll jump back to see what we've done, okay? So if you're new to this whole process with me, this is my craft room. I have these 4x4 cubes from their Calyx system from Aldi, Walmart, yeah, IKEA. Two bookshelves from Walmart. The desk was mom's old kitchen table. I have another bookcase from Walmart on top. They're about $17, $18, those bookcases. I have a rolling cart that was gifted to me by a beautiful subscriber. This is a dresser that I've had in my family for 1,000 years, and it's kind of like falling apart, but we just spray painted it black and fixed it up. And then my sister and Jim put a big pile of stuff over there for us to deal with. So this is pretty much what it looks like before. Yikes. And behind the door we have a shoe organizer that has a bunch of different supplies in it, just regular old crafting supplies, which we're going to do something about that eventually, but right now it is what it is. All right. So the first part of the process that I needed to take care of was we have an old laundry hamper. We got two from Sierra. They're Ray Dunn laundry hampers. But when we rearranged our bedroom, we downsized the two of them to just one. And since the canvas bag had ripped on one of them, we knew exactly which one we were going to use. However, the other selling feature was that canvas bag was like a plain ivory color. The other one has stripes. So we knew that we were going to use the one with the ivory canvas because it matches all the other canvas baskets. I really do love baskets with canvas linings in them. It's just weird. I don't know why. Help me, somebody. I need therapy. But what I've had was this one basket that I got from the 99-cent only store. It was a set of three that I got on a 50% off clearance day. And what I have in there is basically everything that's tall. Dowels, broomsticks, wrapping paper. I have a smaller basket in there, a garbage can basically that's wrangling all the small vinyl, but even like the vinyl, the shelf liner and contact paper from the Dollar Tree. Even those are considered like tall items to me. And what I'm doing now is I'm just trying to go through. I'm trying to see, is there anything I need to get rid of? Is there anything that I need to save? Is there anything that I need to replace? Now I'm fixing this basket. This is the basket I mentioned before. It does say laundry, but I'm okay with it. And I love that it's on wheels. So part of what doing this whole craft room makeover is, it's going to be more accessible to me. As my treatment progresses, as my limitations progress, as my life gets better and worse, I just need to be able to do what I can when I can. So making everything as easy as possible, making it as accessible as possible is really my goal. Okay? So now this is basically what I'm doing. I have this really tall laundry basket on wheels, and I'm going to start with my dowels. I'm just going to organize. Over the course of our marriage and lives together, well, as Jim, I would say, can you bring me three dowels out of the thing? The blue one, the red one, the green one. Because I want to try them out for a project. And when he goes to put them back, he doesn't put them back exactly where he got them. He puts them back wherever he can fit them, which is fine, not a complaint. But after a while, we do this, and our craft stuff looks like hooah. You know what I mean? I think you guys know what I mean. And the same thing goes for if you're just not even a YouTube crafter, if you're just a regular crafter. You don't know what you exactly want to do unless you're following someone else's kind of quote unquote recipe. You really don't know, like, oh, do I want to make a big wreath or small wreath? You know what? I have this really great ribbon. Let me see if it looks better with the big wreath or small wreath. So I bring both wreaths over to the table to craft with, and then you realize one has to go back. And sometimes by the time I'm done crafting at the end of the day, I'm too tired to put it back where it came from. So that's why I'm trying to make everything more accessible in my space. This is the beginning of the beginning. Even before I found out I had cancer, I just thought I was getting more and more tired and my physical abilities were becoming more and more limited. I know now why, but at the time I wasn't 100% sure what was causing it. The only thing I knew was I needed to fix it. I needed to accommodate for it. So that's what I'm trying to say to you guys, because this could happen just with age. There is a sort of Swedish death cleaning that they want you to do or a lot of people are into because you don't want to leave people after you've passed with like a ton of junk to take care of. But that's part of what we're doing with this giant purge. Not necessarily Swedish death cleaning, but we were trying to just like, hey, look, it doesn't look like we're going to have any kids. So let's get these memorabilias away and see if any of the nieces and nephews want them or the brothers and sisters want them. And hey, let's get the craft stuff down to what I'm actually going to use in the future, not just when I'm saving because somebody gave it to me as a nice gift. Do you know what I mean? So that's what we're doing now. Okay? Now, if you can see the pile on the left, Jim's dealing with as well. He helps me out when I need him. It is a little bit of a more difficult process to work in the brace. I can't bend over. I'm not supposed to bend over. It limits how far I can bend over, but I'm not supposed to bend over. And it also limits how long I can sit. So this particular session was about 2 hours, and it was about 45 minutes too long, to be honest with you. But I just kept pushing through, because I really wanted to just get this step done. The whole point of this whole makeover is a couple of things. Make it more accessible. Replace the floor. Right now it has a carpet. The carpet is completely stained up, and it was stained when this used to be Jimmy's office, and he like would spill soda in his garbage cans and stuff. And he would like not tell me because he wasn't supposed to be throwing his soda bottles in the garbage. We recycle here, Jim. I'm just saying. No, I'm kidding. So he would just not even tell me, and then the floor would get like totally stained, and like we never cleaned it up. If you clean a stain when it first happens on a carpet, it's a different story. But since then, it's become my craft space, and it's become increasingly impossible for me to wheel around on the carpet. I have a rolling office chair that was gifted to me by a friend who passed. I recovered it on my channel. I think the video's on there ages and ages ago. And I love it. It doesn't have arms, but it's extremely comfortable. And it's got wheels on it. So I wanted to always have that accessibility of like wheeling to the storage cubbies, wheeling to the closet, wheeling back and forth to the wreath forms and stuff. So that was the end goal, was to get the floor replaced and get things where I could get around the room and access whatever I needed to at the time. Because besides being like this, where I'm not allowed to really put pressure on my right foot right now, those of you who don't know, I have a little bit of cancer in my femur, and it's broken, and I'm not allowed to put any pressure on it. So for right now, I'm wheeling everywhere, but when it comes to just, if I'm just tired that day, obviously, even before, if I was feeling good, if I was having a good day, I would get up out of the chair and go get the stuff. As a matter of fact, before, if I was feeling good, but not before, I had to get up. So if I wasn't feeling good, I just wouldn't craft. Unless Jim could help me, and then that was a different story. Now, part of all of the things we're going through was as my sister was visiting, and as the last year has gone by, we have done some shopping, but not putting anything away. Since June, when we moved the couch out of there, was the last time the room was actually cleaned, was I think March. And I hurt my leg in May, and that is pretty much when I haven't been back in my craft room since. I actually did one craft in my craft room since I hurt my leg, but it was at the very, very beginning. And then since then, I just haven't been back. So as we've shopped and got things, or people have gifted me things, or people have sent me stuff, I just keep adding it to the storage pile so that we can go through it. And that's what we're doing now. We're reorganizing our long sticks into a laundry hamper. That's just a suggestion to you guys. I like laundry hampers that are square, because when you're storing stuff, unless you have round corners in your room, you're going to lose some space if you don't store square objects, whichever. I will tell you the funniest thing, and I think I'm going to mention it in another upcoming video, was we take measurements of all the rooms and all the furniture, so we can basically rearrange the room and map out how we want to organize it and decorate it and figure out the best ways. And something was off, either in Jim's measurements or in my calculations, which is very possible because chemo brain is a real thing. It is a real thing. Don't let me do math anymore. I'm just telling you, not for at least the next 6 months. So things didn't quite work out the way expected, but as we put the furniture back in and moved the furniture into place, we were able to accommodate that little bit that was off, and it still turned out exactly how I wanted it. I mean, not exactly, but it turned out just as well as how I wanted it. Let's put it that way. Okay? So this is pretty much all this is Jim's cleaning off the piles, bringing stuff to me. I'm helping organize it. Of course, I can't move. Sorry, those of you who really have a burr in their saddle that I just sit here and organize stuff while Jim does all the legwork. I'm sorry for that. He is aware that it's a new thing in the last 3 or 4 years, and now he knows why, and now we know why, and we're all a team again. So it's working for him, it's working for me. I ended up giving away a bunch of stuff. I don't think I filmed it yet because I still have more to give away. We still have some more purging to do. So what we're doing on this day is not only going through all of the major piles, but I think I've talked to you guys about this lots of times before. What I like to do is what I call the primary organization. Then I do the secondary and the tertiary. And basically what that is this is going through all the things and putting them in generalized locations. The next thing we're going to do is when we get the furniture in, we're going to take the liked items and we're going to put them together in the similar areas. And then the tertiary or third type of step in organization is to go through each of those types of items, purge, downsize, reorganize, and figure out where it's going to fit. And again, what are we actually going to use? This was a great idea to have this project piece of what I'm never going to use it. We never found the other things that we needed for the craft or whatever the reason may be. One of the things I love about going through this like this is I get to relive some memories, especially stuff that's gifted to me. This was actually a photo. That black cardboard is my father caught a 1,087-pound tiger shark on a hand rod and reel, which was like a local record there on Long Island in 1981. And that picture was hanging in my house forever. And when my brother was alive, after my father passed away, my brother took it and scanned it and color corrected it and printed some for my sisters and me. And I keep forgetting to hand them out to my sisters. My sisters have all been here. And I have a shark picture for everybody. Everybody, okay. The other thing is there are some items that don't currently have a home. And I'm thinking long term, again, like I have a really nice, that I put together, I think it's nice, Garth Brooks scrapbook. I love it. It's my memories. Will Lisa want it someday? Will Sharon want it someday? Will Emily want it someday? Because she's the big country and western fan. Like, I don't really know if anybody is interested in having those memories. But it's stuff like that. You just figure out, like, it means something to me. Well, it means something to someone else. That's really what it comes down to. Now, I was gifted so many beautiful things, and some of them I really can use, and some of them I just really don't even see a way that I can even utilize them in crafting. Or if I do, like, there was projects that I wanted to do that somebody had gifted me an entire, everything I needed for this project, but I don't know where I would put that project in my house. So that's the part where I'm like stuck. Like, if I do this, then where will I put it in my house? And what good will it be to me if I make it and I don't have any place to put it? So it's like that whole situation kind of plays in my head sometimes as well. I think now I might actually have a place for them, which is great. Now, when we get into the office, you'll see that there are some wall repairs that need to be made. And there are some ideas that I have that are outside of the box. But just to remind you guys, we're redoing the floor. We're not painting the entire room. We're not redoing the curtains. I love those curtains. They have great light control and heat control. I don't just love them because I made them for my husband. I love them because of the heat and light control. They're very easy to use with no matter what your limitations are. Everything just slides nicely on an IKEA rod. What we will do eventually, Jimmy and I have been talking about replacing the ceiling fan in there as well as the one in our bedroom. Both of them have horrible squeaking noises. They're since 2009 when they put them up in this house, so it's time. And they don't have great lighting. They both require chandelier bulbs, and chandelier bulbs are quite expensive in complex fluorescent and LED. So I would just like to get like regular light bulbs in there, maybe multiple direction downward lights where I can actually work over my table and actually design decide how the light should come down on the table. Plus, the one in my office only has 2 out of the 3 lights that work. So it's another reason to go ahead and get it done. I will totally 100% share how we redo that. We have rehung lights, we've done fans, we've done lights together. So Jim and I are well versed at how to do this. So I will bring that to you when we are ready to do that as well. Okay? Now the next video after today is, I believe, Jimmy, is he redoing the closet first? Yes, he redoes the closet and takes all the stuff out for the closet. And then what I ended up having to do is, after this day being quite taxing on my body, we went ahead and did work in bed, which is fine. And I do this not to show you how lazy I can be. I don't do this to show you how much I try. I do this for a couple of reasons. I do this to show you, well, I guess I do show you how I'm still working when I don't feel good. It's important to try to get progress done. I think I mentioned my 5 steps to dealing with my, keeping a good mental health regimen is like, I feel productive. If I feel productive for the day, then that really does help my mental health. But mostly it's because Jim needed me. I swear that's the reason. I didn't want to delay his progress. He was a machine in motion. He was really excited to get this done, and I wanted to keep the momentum going. Plus, I want to be able to share with you guys that if you feel like you're in a similar situation, if like I can do it, then you can do it, kind of thing. Or at least to encourage you that maybe you could do it, to try to do it and see maybe you can't. And that's okay too. So that's what's coming. That's what's coming in the next few videos. So I don't know why this camera on the left is just stuck on here, because we haven't, gone in there in a few minutes. But he's going to be, I promise. Anyhow, he's so funny. This like high speed thing is just really cracking me up. So forgive me. Now, a lot of this stuff, as you see as he's pulling it out, is his. And it's not bad. I don't mind, because it was his office. But if sometimes you see him deal with something himself without bringing it to me, it's because it's his. Now this I actually thought was a box of memories of my parents that I have since realized now that I've downsized to the bags under my bed. So he's just telling me, no, it's not. It's actually storage bins. And I was like, oh, okay, more storage bins. Great. Storage bins inside storage bins. But we do end up utilizing quite a few of them, which I'm really happy about. And then we found a home for the ones that we didn't utilize, or some that we want to keep. He's not done. We're not done yet. So some we're going to keep until we're finished. And then some he said, I might want to redo my space. So I said, okay, I'll just keep them in the bottom of the closet. We found a space, and that's good. Spoiler alert, they're in the bottom of the closet. No, I'm kidding. So the whole point of this series always is to motivate you to take the time, go through all your stuff. I know it's a long process. I know I make long videos and I share all the details, because I don't really want you guys to feel like, well, the way you're doing it, it's like, why is it that Jeri does this in 5 minutes? Because the video is 5 minutes long and it takes me 3 days. That's why I share everything. I share every step. I share every decision that Jim and I make together. I share every slight disagreement of whether or not I should throw stuff out or keep stuff or keep this or keep that, whatever it is. George Carlin said it best. Why is your stuff crap? Why is your crap stuff? And everybody says this stuff is crap. And Jim and I go through this on a regular. We go on a regular basis whose stuff is the most important and who's the best and who gets the most necessary stuff. So it's just funny. So if you see on the left picture, there's a quilt hanging on the wall. That is basically like a duvet cover that I made for Jim when he worked at Yellowstone. It fits over his sleeping bag. But when he has it on that quilt rack, he wants to take it into his office. And I thought that would be really nice. We'll figure out a way once he's getting ready to finish his space to like decorate with all of his quilts and tapestries. There is one on the other side of the room that has a quilt and his 2 swords on them. So all of these things to take into consideration, to deal with still. And we're going to share everything we can with you. Sometimes the camera wasn't rolling. Sometimes, all of a sudden we're into the next day. So forgive me if we missed anything. But for now, this is where we're at. And this is actually what's achieving the best, process for us. This is the best process for us. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Grab a bag, go through the bag, deal with it. Grab a bag, go through the bag, and deal with it. Now, one thing you can't really see very well off to the left is the kitchen table. And what I'm actually doing is making those sort of primary piles. I have a box that has miscellaneous craft stuff in it. I have a pile that has Christmas crafts and a pile that has autumn and Halloween crafts. And that's the way I do this organizing. Instead of taking each bag and finding each item and putting away right away, we're going to go ahead and make all of these piles, and it's a work smarter, not harder situation. I've told Jim, he's always liked to work harder, and he's like, that's why I'm skinny. And I was like, that's true, except now you're getting older and you're complaining about all of the aches and pains that you're having. So let's try to work a little bit smarter so you don't have to work twice as hard to do these things that can be done in half the time. So he's on board with it. He's really getting on board with it, and I appreciate it tremendously. So one of the things that we're dealing with right now is was gifted an apple bushel basket from Melody Reed, and what I have in there is 2 pool noodles that hold all of my wreath forms stacked, biggest to smallest at the top. And it's kind of overflowed. And part of that is because I have all of the wreath forms together. Now, I really don't want to have all the wreath forms together in the future. I want to have the Christmas pine ones separate, then the metal wreath forms separate from the green wreath forms. And I want to be able to do that in my space. So one of the things you'll see coming in the future is how we organize the wreath forms to best suit what we need for my room. Okay. Now, we have a little bit of a problem, little stickage here. But what we have in our space is, oh goodness, I just forgot. Oh, these long pieces of wood. They're $1.50 at Lowe's. It's what I used to trim my coffee bar. It's what I used to build the coffee cup holders. It's what I'm going to use to build the quilt rack when I'm ready, when we can. The quilt ladder. I have beautiful quilts that I've been collecting over all the years, and I've been wanting a quilt ladder for ages, and I cannot wait to put it together. So, and share it with you guys, really. What this is this was a witch hat and orange mesh that I was going to make a carrot at Easter time. However, now that I have kidney cancer, orange ribbon is the kidney cancer awareness ribbon, and March is kidney cancer awareness month. So I'm going to go ahead and steal that orange mesh to go ahead and make a new orange kidney cancer awareness wreath. I'm still fighting, so I'm not a survivor yet. So I'm sure whenever I do, I'll make a fighting suggestion, you know. But I may show it to you. I will probably film it, and then if it ends up not being any new techniques, I don't even know that I will. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. Let's see what else. Oh, these odd shaped wreath forms. So I had an idea. Tried to swing it by my husband. He wasn't too keen on it. I said, what if we take one of the 5 over the door hooks, the white ones, and what if we take the wreath forms and we hang them from them? And he was like, no. And I was like, come on, we can do this. I promise we can. So first he was like, you already have too much stuff on the door. And I was like, okay, you're right. So once he took his quilt down, that's where we went ahead on the quilt bar. And we went ahead and put the over the door hanger on the quilt bar and hung the wreath forms from there. And it worked out absolutely perfectly for us. It is just the ones that are shaped like the pumpkin and the cross and the witches' hats and those types of things. Those are the ones that are hanging there. And all the other ones are still in the basket. I also was gifted by one of you beautiful people about a skazillion heart-shaped wreath forms. And I think it's like almost a case. It was like 27 or something. So I have those as well, and those aren't been put away yet either. Actually, the only thing left in the kitchen is the bushel basket with all of the wreath forms in it, because I've asked Jim to help me hang the organizing solution that I want to do. And it's just, he said maybe this weekend if we can get back in there, but he really wants to take the Christmas tree down. I don't blame them, honestly. So that's it. We're getting down to the end. We're starting to put away the things that we don't know if we're going to use. One of the things that I did was I took 2 Dollar Tree garbage bags, the little tiny sort of bucket type things. I put one face down and one on top of it inside the laundry basket, and that's what holds all of the little rolls of vinyl and contact paper and that kind of stuff, okay? So just to show you a quick scan of what this room looks like after Jim pulled out most of that pile. I know you saw the beginning pictures, and there's carpet. Ooh, carpet. We still have the quilts up and everything, okay? So we have made some progress, but the kitchen currently looks like this. Oh, I'm sorry. We have made some we have made some progress, but the kitchen currently looks like this. So over here is where we have the baskets. They have to stay out here because we're redoing the floors, you know. And then our table kind of looks like this for now, but this isn't a permanent situation. We're going to get the other bookcase out here, and then we'll be able to use that for storage. And then that's where the wreaths are. And then we have some more wreath forms here, which we're going to hang, and so on and so forth. So that's it for tonight. If you guys haven't yet, click subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and stay tuned for the rest of the makeover. You're going to love it. As always, you guys take care. God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye.